Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. I'm honored to have you. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. Today's reading is a collaboration with the amazing and wonderful Alyssa from Celtic Fairy Tarot. And Alyssa is one of my soul family. She has been there for me since the first time she reached out to me. She has really been there for me in more ways than I ever expected. And in December, when I went through a lot of upheaval within this tarot community with other tarot channels, going through a lot of accusations and going through a lot of intentional exclusion, I started feeling like there wasn't a place for me here. It was really challenging for me because this place, this community, tarot, divination, spirituality, it has saved me in so many ways. It has given me a spark of life back when I felt as though I was walking through life just dead, lost, alone. And going through the healing journey of what was triggered back in December, and then again in April, and so on and so forth, it has been a lot for me. When I go radio silent, she doesn't judge. When I reach out, she's always there with love, with kindness, with guidance. She always jumps on helping me, guiding me. And she is one of the kindest souls that I have ever met in my life. And it's truly an honor to come together with her. And this reading is tapping into the energy of the moon. She is focusing on your magic, the lunar magic that you contain within. And what we're doing here with lunar wisdom is we are looking at the energy of the dark side of the moon. So the moon is what you call tidally locked with the earth, which means that we always see only the same face of the moon because it orbits in the same as the earth. And a lot of times, we hear the dark side of the moon. Of course, we can think Pink Floyd, but you can also think about the hidden aspects, the part of ourselves we don't see. Now, astrologers are all over the place when it comes to what the moon actually represents. They could say it's your emotions, it's your ego, it's your soul. To me, the sun and the moon are two sides of what the earth represents for us, which is us. Like the earth represents us, our incarnation, our interaction with the physical. The sun represents our soul's expression, but the moon represents our soul's experience. It's about the emotionality, the intention, the intuition, but it's also about the shadow. It's about understanding that there are times where the sun doesn't shine, and it's part of a cycle. It's part of the journey. And so there won't be the moon in the night sky, but it's still there. So even when we are deep in the throes of shadow work in the darkness, the light is still there, even if we can't see it. So this reading is about remembering that you have that light within you, remembering that you have that magic within you, navigating through the darkness, even when you can't see the light, even when you can't feel the light, even when you don't necessarily want to believe that you or the world or everyone else contains a light within. It's about remembering through the journey into the dark that there is still light inside you, all around you. You simply can't see it yet. So we're going to get some wisdom about how you can remember that light, find that light, and return home to yourself and continue moving forward. And don't forget to check out the amazing, incredible Alyssa over on Celtic Fairy Tarot for the second half of this. And with that, we have 3 piles. We have pile 1, Magical Manifestation, and a tiger's eye, a very raw tiger's eye. I love this one. It's really smooth. It's really soft. I love it. Pile number 2, card 44, she is 1,000 flowers, along with a key. And pile number 3, a Samhain Sending, card 28, with this seashell. And before we get into the music and meditating for you guys and your piles, I did want to mention all of the cards that I am using today are from the same creator, J Edward and Heather Neill. And this is the Shadow Journey Tarot. I'm also using the corresponding oracle decks, the Dream and Incarnation Oracle, as well as the Spirits and Shadows Oracle. I absolutely love these cards. I found them on Etsy, and as soon as I saw them, I fell in love with them. They capture the true essence of the shadow work journey, of realizing the interplay of the inner child, and of remembering what it's like to even see things like skeletons. It's kind of like it's got a Samhain feel to it. It's seeing all of these things, but remembering these things made us feel that magic when we were kids. We felt that magic during that time. And these cards really bring us back to that, while also highlighting the ways in which our own internal world can be kind of rocked by perceptions, whether they're perceptions of others or ourselves. Sorry, Willow was playing with Bella. So these are the cards that we're going to be using. I did want to mention the creator, and down in the description box, you will find a link to his Etsy page. He does bundles of different tarot and oracle decks. He does different paintings and artwork. He's an incredible creator. So if you guys feel called to, please go check out his Etsy store, go check out his card decks or his artistry, and show him some love from us. So, all right, guys, I'm going to put on some meditation music, take Willow outside, and I will see you at your piles. Timestamps are in the description box as well as the comment section below. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the first pile, the card 21 with Magical Manifestation, as well as this Tiger's Eye crystal, this is your message. we're going to be diving deeply into getting some lunar wisdom from the dark side of the moon. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for you guys being here. Huge shout out to Alyssa once more. Make sure that you check out her reading if you haven't already, if you're not coming from her reading. If you are coming, welcome. So we are talking about the shadows that you're moving through in order to really find your magic again. And this is an energy that I first want to let you guys know is collective. It is occurring collectively. There are a lot of us that have a lot of different illusions being stripped away, with Saturn and Neptune both being retrograde in the sign of Pisces. A lot of the ways in which we have been operating, protecting ourselves, and that is the nature of illusions. Like we use them to protect ourselves from truths that we don't want to face, or from pains that we feel like we have moved through, that we have healed, or just different ways in order to make us feel safe, secure, grounded. But when these things get stripped away and the emotions come to the surface, it can be really hard for us to remember what it felt like to be excited, to be hopeful, to see the magic, to feel the magic. We start questioning everything, and it becomes a challenge, not just to ourselves, but to our faith, to our belief, to our hope, a challenge to the future that we're trying to weave in the present moment. Now, I have both of the back of the deck energy cards here, and they both say Exile and the Sage. And I asked for these cards to give kind of another dimensional energy to this message. With the Sage and Exile coming up, this is an energy I'm really, truly familiar with myself. It can be very difficult to have all of this wisdom, have all of this insight, have all of this awareness, and feel like because you have it, it makes you an outcast. It makes you the black sheep. It makes you the stranger in the midst of all the people that you've always known, because you see the things that they don't see, that you understand things on another level, and sharing that isn't always accepted. And when this happens, we can become very overwhelmed with what we're trying to create for ourselves, but also for the collective. With magical manifestation, it talks about the wishes that you make and doing things repetitively. And I always say repetition is the key to learning. So that it's about recognizing the cycles, the patterns, the tools that you contain within you, but that are also accessible within the physical world, to bring and meld them all together in order to manifest whatever it is that you're manifesting. Now, right now, the energy that I'm feeling is like, I'm not even really trying to manifest anything. I just want to get through this. And I understand that. And that would be why the tiger's eye reached out so deeply to this pile, because a tiger's eye is so great for having courage and resiliency in the face of challenges and difficulties and hardships. Tiger's eye reconnects you with your sacral chakra and helps to connect the sacral and the solar plexus chakra together, so that you remember that your emotions are really a superpower, and your emotions help you manifest. They don't prevent you from manifesting. Now, there's a lot of theories and thought forms out there that a lot of people share. And while it's really great for people to share, it's also really great for us to tap into our own discernment, tap into our own wisdom, our own knowledge, and use that. You might feel as though this means that there's a lot of wisdom being kept away. I'm almost getting a gatekeeper energy from this, as though it's a projection on the outside world, that the whole outside world is gatekeeping you from your wisdom. But something that I learned recently is that we're all, and I knew a lot of this, but we're all very unique individuals. We all have a world that is based off of our own perception. And we can ask questions of other people and get their insights and get their wisdom, get their steps to healing and what have you. But that doesn't mean that those steps are right for us. And it doesn't mean that what they experience, what their truth is going to be the same as ours. That's why we get stuck in this mental spiral of feeling like you're an outcast for what you know, what you see, what you perceive. Because you may not feel as though there's any magic left to help you manifest. And you may feel as though there's no real sense of where you're going anymore. That's because the more that you rely on other people, the less you rely on yourself. And then you start questioning everything everyone says because internally you're questioning yourself. When that illusion gets stripped away, when you start seeing that, when you start understanding that, yeah, I've been clouding my own discernment. I've been creating my own fogginess. Then you start wondering, how do I get out of that? But if you created it, then you can uncreate it. You disperse it in whatever way you need to. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at these two cards represent the healing of shadow energy that you're doing right now. And this represents what you're seeking. So I actually want to look at what you're seeking first, because when we know what we're looking for, then we understand that the light is there. So we have corridor. Yeah. See, this is that gatekeeping energy. You're looking for the path, the purpose, the reason, the causality. You're looking for the doorway that will lead you to understanding, but you're also looking for a way out of this suffocating environment that you found yourself in. The question is are you seeking a way out or are you seeking a way in? With the Exile card, there's an energy of the perception needing to be shifted, needing to be changed, because you might think that you're looking for a way out when really it's, I want to open the doors to understanding of yourself or other people understanding you. And sometimes when we think that we want someone to understand us, we don't realize that we have to share ourselves in order for the understanding to be planted, that seed to be planted. So this is a lot of that manifestation of, do you want in or do you want out? When you decide that, then you will be seeking that corridor, that pathway to the door to let yourself either in or out. But it depends on how you want it. If this is applying to a relationship, you may want to be let in further into this person's heart and mind and understanding and awareness. If this is a job, you may want to be let in beyond any kind of stopgap that is happening with your ideas, your creativity, your awareness. It can be either way, but you also may see that this is a mindset that you have that is not serving you anymore. This feeling of not belonging, this feeling of being pushed out because of what you know, because of who you are, because of your perception and your awareness, you're being pushed out. So the best thing that you can do is walk away, but you don't know the path to walk away because you're so entangled in the situation that you can't see your way out. So you just have this energy of, where do I go? So what you're seeking is really a pathway. And if you notice, this pathway is literally illuminated by light, but it's surrounded by darkened trees. The pathway of light, in order to return back to your magic, that it's always ever present, even if you don't see it. Even if you can't find the answer of how to find it, it's still there. A huge factor in life has to do with what you believe. Where do you put your faith? Do you put your faith in questioning and doubting and insecurities? Or do you put your faith in the fact that there is something grander? A lot of people think I'm naive because I have 100% faith in there being a grander plan to everything. And that has been a salve to the wounds of trauma that I have gone through, to the suffering that I have endured, is this knowing that there is a reason behind it. And I know without a doubt that I have the ability to find that reason for myself. It may not be a reason for anyone else, but it is a reason for myself. How do you approach that? So let's take a look at the healing of shadow energy here. Oh my God. See, the door of dreams, literally a corridor. You're searching for this door. And then we have defiance. And this came out in the reverse. And normally I don't read any reversal cards, but you're literally looking for what needs to be healed is you resisting the belief that you can actually open this door. If you find the corridor of light, how do you walk down it? How do you stop this resistant energy, this defiant energy? How do you move beyond it? How you move beyond it is by not excluding yourself and your wisdom and your knowledge at this for the sake of everybody else's. It's realizing that what you perceive to be true is what will be true. So if you feel as though you're never going to get answers from the outside world and everybody is just keeping some great secret from you, you're going to continue to stand in defiance of walking down that corridor of light and walking through that door of dreams. You're going to continue to negate your own wisdom, your own magic. And spirit doesn't want that for you. Your guides don't want that for you. Your inner self and inner child don't want that for you. There was a time in your life, whether you remember it or not, in which you had all these dreams and all these wishes and all these goals, and yet life came and hit you and knocked you down. And that's why the tiger's eye is here. It's coming forth again, and it's like the energy of it is just exuding off of this reading. It's understanding that you have this resilience, this courage to continue to move forward in overwhelming times because you have this magic within you. But you have to continue to repeat the pattern until you learn. Repetition is the key to learning. So until you realize that you're the one carrying the light, that you have the light within you, that magic is so hard to touch during those times. It's because you are standing in defiance. So if you want to stand in defiance, you're going to stand there and say, no, I'm not going to let my wisdom be exiled from anything within me. I may hear what your truth is. I may hear what your perspective is, but I understand my own truth because I am the sage. I have this wisdom. I have this knowledge. I have this know-how. And I'm going to walk down this corridor, regardless of what the outside world says, because I know without a doubt that I have this door at the end, this door that is going to open to my dreams. And I'm going to continue to sludge through all of the mayhem and all of the chaos and all of the hardships and all of the suffering and pain and sorrow and trauma and whatever. I'm going to keep going through all of it because I will heal through it. Follow this light. And when I get to the end, the door that I open, whether it is a door in or door out, what is on the other side is my dreams. What is on the other side is everything that I have wished for, everything that I have wanted. Belief is such a strong factor here, and especially for you, pile one, belief in this. When you doubt yourself, you doubt your dreams, you doubt your magic, you doubt your ability to move through this. That's when you seek outside of yourself. And we say it all the time, go within, go within, go within. And I say it too. And I had the hardest time when I was filled with doubt, when I doubted myself. I had the hardest time going within. I had the hardest time even comprehending what it meant to go within. So I created what it meant for me. I created a visualization where I went through a doorway and then I would lead myself down a path for whatever it is that I was seeking within myself. Whatever you need to do to define going within for yourself, that is what will bring you back. That's when you find that corridor. So I want to just get a little bit more of the storyline here. Guides and angels, ancestors, spirit, and the higher self for pile one. I call the full team, full scope, all of the positive energies of light, love, happiness, truth, bravery, and courage. Shine a light, illuminate for pile one. Help them move through this. Okay. We have the Seven of Bones, the Ace of Candles, and the Death card. And on the back, we have the Queen of Bones. So the bones are pentacle energy. It's earth energy. This is the foundational point of the physical body. This is about the strength of your ability to receive, but not receiving from the outside world. This is about your ability to receive from within yourself. all this work. This is reminding me of all the people that seek outside of themselves. They see this sign, they see this awareness, they see this, whatever it is for you, this piece right here, and they all point to this direction or that direction. And it, to the naked eye, it looks like they're all pointing the same way. So if everybody is telling you, go within, go within, go within, and you're going, but where do I go? How do I go? Where's the path? Where's the corridor in? All the work that you've been doing has been in order for you to see. And all of them are looking this direction. They're all literally looking towards the sage. They're looking towards exile. You have the wisdom within you if you choose to see it, if you choose to tap into it. How you do that is going to be unique to you. That's why we are all very unique individuals. But you have the ability and the resilience and the emotional awareness to continue to move through it. It may feel overwhelming in the beginning, but there's this inspirational idea coming to you of how to do this. I remember the day that it was the day that I just kind of decided I'm going to try this. And it was creating a world within my own mind. Creating a safe space, because in my mind, I struggled. I struggled with a lot of things. So I wanted to be able to visit the things that I struggled in a neater way. So I took the idea of the Akashic Library and I applied it to my own mind. And then I applied my emotions to the books so that if I was experiencing a certain emotion, I could go within the library, I could take the book off the shelf, I could open the cover, and whatever it was, the situation, the experience that was occurring during that time that was eliciting that emotion would be the story that I would read. And in doing that, I was able to realize that these are old chapters, old stories, old latent emotions coming to the surface in order for a transformation to happen. Going within one's own mind in order for a transformation to happen. So there are things that we don't always see about a situation. And that's coming to light so that it can be transformed. So you can walk down this corridor and go through that door of your dreams. When I was done with whatever chapter it is that I was reviewing, there was a fireplace in that library. And I would take that chapter and I would burn it. And if it came back up again, because we don't just burn our memories away, if it came back up again, I would do the same thing over and over and over again until I felt as though the burning of that chapter in that visualization symbolized the burning away of the feeling that had held me hostage, the feeling that had held my dreams at bay, the feeling that had needed to be understood on an internal level. And through that, each time it was burned, it was like going through a phoenix moment in one specific area of life. When we do shadow work, when we are dealing with this level of heaviness in the energy and within ourselves, it can feel like all of this is pointless. It can feel like we aren't weaving magic. It can feel like we are not in touch with our grounded, feminine, creative, nurturing nature. It can feel that way because we're going through it. But there is a beauty and a magic to this shadow work. There is a beauty and a magic to communing with your shadow, to understanding your shadow, and to choosing not to defy your own wisdom, and to realize that you have the ability to connect in deeper ways because you have the candle of awareness, of illumination, and the ability to transform. There is true magic and true beauty in that. And if you guys heard my Alexa go off, that take that as a confirmation. You may not see it right now because in the shadows, we have a hard time seeing it. But it does not mean there is not a beauty unfolding for you to review by looking at this chapter when it is past, going back and looking and seeing what it was, how it felt, how you felt, how everything played out, and how beautiful your life was the second you took that first step down that corridor towards the door of your dreams. You have a deep, powerful magic within you. The more that you embrace a defiant energy of, I'm not going to negate that, I'm going to stand true to myself. Everybody may point one direction, but I know my light. I'm going where I need to go, and I know that I belong. You take one more step closer to your magic. So pile one, this is the message I have for you. Please make sure you guys go check out Alyssa from Celtic Fairy Tarot, where she is going to be talking all about the magic and helping you tap deeper into that. And I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides, my guides, spirit, ancestors, angels, your higher selves, every positive energy that has come forth to help us move through these ever so trying times. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wisdom that pile one contains within themselves. And thank you for leading them here so that they can find within themselves that faith once more. Thank you. All right, pile one, if this resonated, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to. Totally unnecessary if you don't. There were just two doves like dancing in the air outside of my window. That was awesome. Morning doves actually symbolize comfort and love from the spiritual realm. So that feels like a beautiful last message to leave you guys with. Remember to check out Alyssa and Celtic Fairy Tarot. The link is in the description box, as well as check out the creator of this deck, J Edward Neill and Heather Neill, and their Etsy page, which is also linked in the description box. I love you guys. I am honored to read for you. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you at your next reading. Bye. Hello, pile two. If you chose the second card, she is 1000 flowers and number 44, as well as the key. This is a message of lunar wisdom for you. First of all, I want to say thank you for being here. I want to open this space up to the loving energy and flow of your ancestors and guides, your higher self and spirit. May light illuminate this reading for pile two. Now, pile two, we are talking about finding magic right now. And the energies in the cosmos are tumultuous, to say the least. And in the midst of the energies that we are working with, there can be a sense of missing, of longing. Now, this card came out upright, and as much as I wanted to put it back and say, no, I don't want this revealed, I would like it to flow with the reading how I normally do, there was a resistant energy to putting it away. This is the card about what you are seeking. What you are seeking is actually searching. You're seeking what it is that you're looking for. And there is an almost essence of not being entirely sure what it is that you're looking for. Now, I kept the back of the deck energies for the healing of the shadow and what you're seeking. And we have love and water. This is about learning to love the emotional nature that you are. Learning to understand how fluid love really is. We can think of love as a powerful force, just like I say all the time. And in that essence, most of the time when I tap into that energy of love, it's very fiery, it's very passionate, it's very consistent, it's very true. It's got an energy of fire meeting earth, and we have all seen how that can go, but that can also be destructive. And the temperament of that is water. Making sure that the fire stays consistent and strong and steady. It requires water so it doesn't spread. And that doesn't mean that the fiery passion is not meant to expand. It means that it's meant to be tempered with the truth of our emotions. And when we negate our own emotions, we actually stop trusting ourselves. We stop trusting our heart. And when we stop trusting our heart, we stop trusting the nature of love. So you've got this key and the card searching. And it's like you're searching for the key itself. The She is 1000 Flowers talks about the energy of the whole situation. And it's this energy that is trying to come into your life, this energy of light and love and happiness and joy. And we can become so jaded and so cynical. And I'm no stranger to those things. I'm no stranger to being jaded and cynical, to being doubtful, to being distrustful. When you go through enough things in life, it becomes pervasive, those things, those shadows. Those become more powerful than the understanding and the awareness of what you contain within yourself. Water helps wash things away, helps temper things, but it also can rejuvenate life. So this searching card has this tree that is gnarled and there are no leaves left on it. And it looks like it could be fall, but it also looks like it could be a dying tree. But what can we do to rejuvenate plants that are on their last leg? We bring them water and we bring them light. We bring them sunshine and water. And those two things combined, along with the love that we pour into it, gives us this fertility, this beautiful, fertile landscape. Now she's pregnant here, so there's a couple of energies that are coming in that may have to do with trying to get pregnant and not being able to, or being pregnant and losing a child, or even just wanting to give birth to something new, some new creative something or other. And guys, this energy is so familiar. It's so familiar to me. My husband was talking to me yesterday about a conversation that he had with one of his coworkers about me not working full time anymore and why he doesn't force me to work. And it's because he said it's because he wants me to do what I want to do. And even if I don't know what it is that I want to do, he knows what it is that I want to do. And his answer brought me to tears. It made me feel grateful that he sees it and understands it, but also very, very sad because I feel like I haven't been able to touch it fully lately. He said she wants to create. That's what she wants to do with her life. She wants to create. And that is so true. I've said more times than I can count that I wish that the woes of the world and the worries and the anxiety and the anguish and the struggles and the financial struggles and all of the things that we are so encumbered by in this world would just fade away. And I would be freed of all of that pain and all of that anguish and all of that heaviness. So I could just create, so I could just lose myself in the creativity without putting any pressure on it at all. And he came back with this perfect answer, this perfect spiritual, higher self-awareness answer from a man who is not very spiritual and a man who is not aware of how in touch he is and how in tune he is with his higher self. And he said, the only person putting pressure on you is you. The only person putting expectations on any of this is you. You make your own timeline. You make your own creations. It's the beauty of being a content creator is you create from yourself, for yourself, with yourself, and then you gift it to the world. And it was such a beautiful response. And I found myself crying because I don't always see my own light. And that's just pure vulnerability with you guys. I don't always see my own light, and I get it poured into me or illuminated to me by so many others. But if I cannot see it for myself, then I cannot see it. And I'm sharing this vulnerability with you because the searching card with the key, the water, the love, the she is 1,000 flowers, all of it speaks so deeply of this similar energy. And however it's playing out in your life, whether it's you with other people or you with children and fertility and giving birth, or you with your creative abilities, whatever it is, you with being able to just simply manifest the life that you desire without the struggle, this searching for the key, that's, God, that journey is so challenging. It's so painful. It's so tiring. And we can negate the power of water. I get into these funks, and I was never taught to properly care for myself. I was taught how to care for others, but it always felt like it never applied to me. And because of that, I never really even realized the ways in which I can nourish and replenish myself. And we talk metaphorically about pouring into our own cup, but sometimes it's literally about pouring into a cup and drinking. Sometimes it's literally like I'm not drinking enough water and I just need to drink more water. And I noticed the other day I hadn't been drinking water, and I drank, I think, 32 ounces in a few hours, and I felt like a completely different person. I took a shower in my house for the first time in a month because we haven't had a water heater, well, a hot shower, because we haven't had a water heater that was working. And I realized what water can elicit, how much it can pull our emotions to the surface so that we can feel them, that we can move through them. When we cry, it's such a cleansing experience. And we negate these things because we think that it means that we're not loved or we're not being our loving selves, but that is what we're doing. All of these things are keys to the existence of humanity, and we don't realize it because we don't allow ourselves to realize it. Water is rejuvenating. So the more that you search for something in the outside world to confirm for you what is contained within yourself, the longer you distrust yourself. And the shadow of seeking a key outside, we can lose sight of the simplicity of just drinking a glass of water, making a cup of tea, sitting beside a river or beside the ocean, or just listening to those sounds. If you're landlocked, I'm landlocked, but I can still go to my river. But even that, like, sometimes you just need to be able to hear the rushing water of the ocean waves. There are 1.5 million videos out there for that. Sometimes it's the smallest steps that help us see that this gnarled tree that we feel like is our creative and fertile ability within just needs that water and light. And when you're searching for the light in the darkness, sometimes you forget that you are the light. And that's the key that you're seeking. So let's take a look at what healing of your shadow energy is being elicited at this moment. Yes, we have awakening. And oh my God, the key, look. And the key here is it's entangled in the brambles. And it's like, if you can move beyond the view of this tree that is falling apart or falling down or falling dead, giving it that water, you can actually see how it is entangling the key, this belief that it's gone, this healing that you're doing. Okay. Real talk here, pile 2. Sometimes on the awakening journey, sometimes on the spiritual journey, we go to a place where we say, I wish I had never. I'm taking that camera shift as confirmation. I wish I had never. Thank you, Spirit. I wish I had never shifted my awareness. I wish I had never done this. I wish I had never done that. And when we do that, we forget that when we go through the awakening process, when we go through an ascension and a deepening of our awareness, when we're seeking this awareness, when we are looking for it everywhere outside of ourselves, we forget that that initial spark that led us on this journey was us discovering the keys to everything within ourselves, us discovering that we have the ability, the intuition, and the awareness to awaken, to see the light. Now, this awakening card, it's got a crow, and the crow's eye is like a diamond, a gem, a star shining. It's you seeing the light and understanding that because you can see the light, that means that you are projecting that light outward, which means that the light is coming from within. And sometimes we seek and seek and seek, and we're searching and we're looking for that key, and we're trying to find it. No matter what the cost, we're looking and trying to find it, but we don't realize that it's contained within ourselves. Everything gets tangled up and tangled in the brambles, but the truth is that we have it within ourselves. We have it within ourselves. And sometimes we need to water what feels like barren lands and dead trees, because nature, if you've ever been out in a forest and you will see a tree that looks dead, but at the base or from the trunk, there are sprouting new branches, new leaves, new life. So something that can look dead, can look lost, is actually creating newness. It's the same as every cycle of seasons. We go through spring and that new planting and that excitement and that fertility, and then summer where we're tending to it and we're talking to the plants that we're growing and we see how they are growing and we feel so proud. It's the same as parenting when we start watching our kids grow up and become tiny little humans, and they start reflecting the lessons that they've learned from us and the wisdom that we've taught them, and we see ourselves in them and them in ourselves, and we feel the sense of purpose and destiny and fate and happiness and love and truth and clarity. And then they grow up and they start becoming independent, and then we start seeking for what it is that we're supposed to do for ourselves, because we've poured so much into our children, and we seek and we seek, and we feel like I've left this part of myself barren for so long. There's no way to unlock the garden gate. I'm literally seeing like the secret garden and the gate and unlocking that door and moving through it and bringing it back to life. But nature has a way of growing, and so does your creativity, and so does your fertility. It grows. And you can take this key. It may look like it's encompassed and entangled in the brambles, but look, the key is in your hand. It's a skeleton key. It opens everything. You contain the key within yourself. This awakening that you've gone through, I know it can be hard, and I know it can be challenging. And when we go through the shadows, it can be this feeling of heaviness, but you awoke for a reason. It's a choice your soul made, and we don't always have to accept that in the moment, and we don't always perceive that as the case. Sometimes we feel like it's just a grand cosmic joke or fate moment where we just suddenly open our eyes and see. But when you seek the answers, you're seeking a key to the wisdom, a key to the kingdom of knowledge, of destiny, of creativity. When you awoke the first time, when your third eye was open for the first time since being shut for so long, everything looked like magic, everything, even the shadows. And we forget it because we get caught up in the family and caught up in the life and caught up in the work and caught up in this and caught up in that. And sometimes you just forget that this life is ours, that we're creating, and you just want to create, but you don't see that you're already creating in every single moment, every breath that you take, you're creating. And now is the time to water what feels like a barren field. Bring love back into it by watering the field. So let's get a little bit more here. Call upon the ancient wisdom, ready to be awoken for pile 2. What more do they need to know? with the Six of Bones, which is also the Six of Pentacles. Move that up so you guys can see. What else? The Ten of Bones and the Ten of Pentacles. Look, and this is a mother holding their child. With two familiars, two towers. There's a lot of High Priestess energy here and Justice energy as well. I'm just letting the messages come through as we're getting the last card. Wow. Okay. The Knight of Goblets or the Knight of Cups. And on the back, we have the King of Candles. This is definitely, for a lot of you, this is definitely about reigniting a passion for creativity, especially with this King of Candles being that underlying energy. And here, like the water shifted and it's the stag underneath. This is your divine masculine energy. This is the virility and the creativity and the intuition taking hold of your divine masculine energy, that creativity energy. You know, the divine feminine receives and then she fuels the divine masculine. She inspires the divine masculine, and we all contain these energies within. This is about feeling like there was an imbalance. You're giving and you're giving and you're giving, but you're waiting for it to come back, but you're not giving it back to yourself. This is telling me that the journey of it feels like a loss. Because we can seek that Ten of Pentacles. We can seek that Ten of Bones energy. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just got like a message to interrupt. We live many lifetimes, whether you believe in reincarnation or not. We're all connected, which means we all live many, many lifetimes because we are living each and every life that exists within the world. It's the egg concept. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please Google that. If you feel called to. But we live many lives. And it's these lives that build our awareness. Each of these bones, these skulls, represent a different lifetime. And you're not standing on them, you're standing amidst them. You're surrounded by equality, uniformity, as within, so without, as above, so below. The passion that you're seeking, the reignition of that, to bring this fertility into your life, to bring this growth into your life, that is contained within the memory and the wisdom that you hold within. It's like all of these look like cups. You hold it within yourself. And sometimes we forget because we're not nourishing ourselves. We're not hydrating ourselves. We're not replenishing ourselves. And it doesn't always need to be you taking self-care time to go take a hot bath or to do this. Sometimes it's in allowing yourself to connect once more. I know a lot of the times for me, I get in these funks of creative lulls. And I get so afraid. Like, why did I awaken to my creative abilities? And why did I reopen the door to this wish, this hope, this dream, this goal of creating, of being this person? Why did I do that if it's just going to lead me down a path of feeling entangled and like a part of me is dying all the time? Why all this shadow work? Why this? Why that? And when we ask why, we lose sight of the key. Why? Because it was meant to be. Why? Because I feel so alive when I create. I feel so alive when I create. When I channel for you guys, it's like filling my soul with abundance. And I forget that because life gets heavy, because love gets heavy, because I forget to take care of myself, because I forget that there's that phase between watching things blossom and then waiting for the harvest. There is a lull between that where you have tended, and now you have to allow for independent growth. And when we forget that, then we either overnourish or we undernourish. Things can be brought back into balance when you bring yourself back into balance, when you give back to yourself and allow for that water and that fire energy to blend together, for you to realize that to be active and to go after your dreams, it doesn't mean that you're forsaking everything that came before. And it doesn't mean that everything that came before was a hindrance to it. Everything taught you something. Everything brought you closer to yourself, to your dreams, to your wishes, to your goals. Everything did. You're at a very auspicious place, even if it doesn't feel like it, because what you're seeking is within yourself. And it's not seeking you, it's waiting patiently for you to realize that you never had to seek it in the first place because it's always been there. You're at the precipice moment right now, Pile 2, the precipice of breaking through. Remember your magic and find your way. There is no better guide. There is no better key holder than you. All right, Pile 2. This has been your message. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Alyssa for this amazing collaboration. Please make sure that you go and check out Alyssa's reading if you aren't coming from her reading over on Celtic Fairy Tarot. The link to her reading is in the description box below. And if you guys love these cards as much as I love these cards, please make sure that you go and you check out all of the amazing artwork and card decks and everything that J Edward and Heather Neill make. It's incredible. They are incredible. He is a wonderful person, and I am more than happy to plug his Etsy page. The link is in the description box, so definitely go check that out. So I want to say again, one more time, thank you. Thank you to your guides, my guides, spirit, ancestors, your higher self, and my higher self. Thank you for connecting these energies. Thank you for bringing back this memory and this awareness within all of us of what we contain within and about how important it is to nourish ourselves without feeling like we have lost sight of what we contain within ourselves. Thank you for reaching Pile 2 and for bringing them here today. And please send them a huge, huge burst of love and hope and creative energy so that they can trust themselves deeper and more fully. Thank you. All right, Pile 2, this is what I have for you. If this resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment. And if you want to hit that notification bell, please feel free. I cannot wait to hear from you guys. Thank you again for being here. I love you all, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose the third card, a Samhain Sending, card number 28, and the cockle shell, this is your message of lunar wisdom. I want to start with saying thank you so much. Thank you for you guys for being here, for supporting my channel, for supporting all my creative endeavors. Thank you as well to Alyssa from Celtic Fairy Tarot for this collaboration and working with me on this. It's truly an honor. So Pile 3. With this Samhain Sending, this is about the solitary witch and how she is in this ancient old city and she is witnessing all of the beauty that humanity has to offer. Paintings and poetry and bards and listening to the music, but there's a calling for her coming in, this calling to return home, to return to the work that her soul calls her to. And we have here the Guardian and the Death card. Some of you may be mediums. That's very, very strong coming through. And I myself am a medium. And I know that there are times on this journey, whether or not you identify as a medium, there is something here about understanding the nature and the cycles of life, death, rebirth. understanding the protection that we have in this world and the next, understanding the nature of death itself, not as something to fear, but as a friend to walk with, whether it's you're a medium and you walk side by side with death, because that is the nature of a medium. They deal in the dead. They kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Barter, trade, have commerce with the dead. There's a different word. I just can't seem to grasp it right now. But they, as a medium, something that I have found on my journey is sometimes you find yourself living too much in the realm of the dead, living too much in the realm of spirit. And as beautiful as that is, we can forget. We can forget that we are human and we're living a human existence. We can forget that we hold a blessing within us that is our soul, that is the ability and opportunity to experience this physical world, this physical life, the human experience. We get to feel it all and see it all and perceive and change and grow and come into more awareness and share our light with the world and share our light with other people. And a Samhain sending talks about you being in this place where you're witnessing beauty, things that you have dreamed about, things that you have aspired to experience. And it's this kind of taking a break. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I have had my periods of time in which I have taken breaks from filming regularly. And even right now, I'm still slowly working my way back from taking a very long hiatus. Hi, Willow. I don't know if you guys can hear Willow whining a little bit, but I'm going to go let her out real quick and then I will be back. Okay. Thank you, Pile 3. I'm back. So what I was saying is, I am coming back and working on developing a new film schedule, new intentions, new project schedule for other things. And sometimes when we live in this land of spirit, when we live as a channeler or a medium or a tarot reader, a divinator, when we are an energy healer, a holistic healer, when we work with the realm of spirit on such a regular basis, we can forget about our own humanity. We can forget. And we can end up feeling as though we're always living in the land of spirit. Coming back down to earth, coming back to our bodies, coming back to our connections, back to this physical world and experiencing the beauty of spirit in expression. Whether it's through a painting or a song. Right now I've been listening to Sleep Token regularly, almost every day, because spirit just flows through those messages in such a profound, beautiful way. When we do this, when we experience this, sometimes we can fully understand how exhausting it is to be a channeler, to live in the realm of spirit, to work in the realm of spirit. And at the same time, our heart understands how beautiful it is, fulfilling it is, uplifting, hopeful, and purposeful it is. To where you're at right now, you're in this place of whether you have been called to taking a break and have been resisting it. For some of you, you have been resisting taking a break because you're a little afraid that everything will fall away. For others of you, you have been on a break and are resisting returning because of the hits and the losses and feeling like There's no safety and no security and no protection in the realm of spirit for you. And whether you are in group A or group B, your heart is calling you. Your heart is calling you to take a step back and look at this. What are you resisting returning to? What calling from your heart are you resisting right now? Yes, being in the realm of the world is beautiful and brilliant and fulfilling and amazing. It is. It truly is. If you choose to see it that way. Or you can choose to see it as the most insufferable, painful experience ever that all you want to do is escape from. Either way, there's something about the perception of the existence of you within the world and you within spirit that is asking for you to look at it so that you can send an intention out to follow your heart and feel clear-headed, feel determined, feel purposeful again. So we have the Dreams and Incarnation card here, and this represents what you're seeking right now. And these two Spirit and Shadows cards represent the healing of shadow energy that is occurring or being called to do. Depends on how the cards kind of fall and the energy flows, so we'll get into that. We're going to look at what you're seeking first. The Defender. We've got the Defender and the Guardian. My gosh. You're okay. For some of you, you feel like if you were to follow your heart, it would be like an anchor weighing you down to the bottom of the ocean. Crushing pressure, no oxygen, no place to breathe, and you have to constantly defend yourself against all of these forces that you don't know. For others of you, you're just looking for a place to feel safe, a place to feel whole, a place to feel like you don't have to constantly defend your position. For others of you, you're looking for that fight that you used to have. I used to have this fight, this drive, this passion. For me, that's kind of been my side of this energy that I understand from my own perspective is I've had moments in my life where you go through enough and you stop wanting to keep fighting forward. You don't want to struggle. You don't want to strive. You don't want to fight. And in the absence, not necessarily the lack, but the absence of engaging in that side of yourself, it can feel very unsafe, as though there's no one there protecting you. So you may be seeking out a new spirit guide, a new spirit energy that helps you to feel as though you are 100% protected so that you can follow your heart, or seeking a place within yourself where you can really anchor yourself to it, knowing that that part of you is your defense, and not defense in the sense of being defensive. It's your defense in the sense of knowing that you are protected, knowing that there is a part of you that is always going to keep that bubble of protection around you, and that you are truly safe to return back to your heart's calling, to return back to what fills you with light and love and passion and doesn't make you feel like you are slowly dying from the inside out. So let's take a look at the healing of shadow energy right now. We have Patience. Oh man, whoa, okay. Sorry guys. Yeah, and the necropolis. There's a lot of energy of death. You know, the necropolis is a resting place, a burial ground. So you may be in a Phoenix rising energy. Now we can think of the Phoenix rising energy as being really auspicious and really wonderful and really great. But guys, dude, I'll tell you what, holy shit. I just had like the most real energy come in, like tell them how it is. When you go through a Phoenix transformation, you get really excited to walk into those flames, really excited. When you are in the flames, it is super exciting. It's super exciting because things are changing so rapidly. But what you might not always realize, what I didn't realize when I walked into the fires of my Phoenix transformation, is that when you're done, you wake up as a novice. You wake up as a beginner. You wake up in the fool's position. And it doesn't matter how many times you do this, you're still the baby. You still have to wait to grow, to gain your feathers, to learn how to fly again. And in that waiting, you're sitting in your own ashes. You're sitting in the ashes of everything that once was. And it is the opportunity for you to grow through the understanding of why everything had to fall to ashes, and understanding that it didn't mean that you weren't supported, and it didn't mean that you weren't loved, and it didn't mean that what you did before or what you experienced before wasn't purposeful and meaningful and heartfelt. It meant that it was serving its purpose for that duration of time in your life, on your journey. And now you realize that in order to rise back up as the phoenix, full of plumage, flying in the air, you have to go through the process of relearning how to fly. But before that comes death. Before that comes transformation. Before that comes the necropolis, this resting place. Navigating your way through patience while you feel like a part of you has died. And I'm not going to negate that whatsoever. I will not negate that. And if you have anybody in your life who is saying, that's ridiculous, that doesn't make any sense, I'm sorry that you're going through that. I'm not going to tell you to cut them out. I'm not going to tell you what to do about them. I'm going to tell you what I know about you. Those people don't understand because they haven't allowed themselves to go through it. And a person who walks into the fires and gets really excited and understands that there is a transformation and a transition coming, and then comes out the other side and realizes, shit, I've got to sit in my ashes and I've got to take a look at everything that once was and everything that has been lost. And now I'm going to get used to being human. I'm going to get used to being grounded. I'm going to get used to not being able to fly. I am a flightless bird, and I'm going to be used to that. I'm going to have to grow accustomed to this. Why? Because right now nothing feels safe. And right now the only safe space is actually sitting in the ashes. And I have to be patient, but I am not good at patience. And so I'm not good at patience because I feel ... Fill in the blanks. For me, I struggle with patience on and off because I'm not good at feeling like I am not being worthwhile as a human being by not working or by not sharing my gifts or by not doing this or not doing that. I've been so deeply conditioned and programmed that I have to do something to matter. I have to be something to matter. I have to make money to matter. I have to clean my house to matter. I have to whatever. I've been so deeply conditioned to that it has been a very long process of training myself to be patient in the times that I am too tired, in the times where my Ehlers-Danlos is flaring and my pain level is so bad that getting out of bed is a success. In those times where my joints dislocate and I'm screaming in agonizing pain, and I know there's no sense in going to the doctor because it's just going to pop back in just a few minutes and then I'm going to be able to walk and whatever. I have a hard time allowing my body to do what it needs to do to reverse what has been done because I'm in pain. So my impatience comes through. Learning how to be patient through the process of loss in some way, shape, or form. And with this pile in particular, loss of what came before. And it doesn't matter whether it's like I was inspired and then the inspiration left. It doesn't matter if it was I had this job and that job fell away. I had this relationship and this relationship fell away. None of that matters because all of that is outside of yourself. And right now, this is all about your inner world. And I don't want to negate and I don't want to diminish what might be going on in your outside world. But what's going on in your outside world that you may be reacting to is actually a reflection of what's going on the inside world. Now, this is about you being patient and understanding the value that is the necropolis. The ancient pyramids are a necropolis. We look at the ancient pyramids now as this profoundly spiritual thing. So you are in a profoundly spiritual place right now. Yes, it may feel like you are sifting through the ashes of a graveyard as though you have no protection and you have no safety. But the truth is that you're working on learning how to be patient and understand the value of what was. Because when you understand the value of what was, what is, and what can be, become so much more expansive. And you are able to tap into a truer energy of understanding and awareness that things have been the way that they have been, and you have been called and led and guided every step of the way, even when you don't realize it, even when it feels like you're alone, even when it feels like you have had to defend yourself against any and every negative energy, entity, person, position, situation imaginable. You may have gone through the mill, but you don't have to defend the fact that you are a person, you matter, you are breathing, and therefore your life, your everything is meant to be honored, loved, protected. Being patient through the honoring of what was is going to help you to feel what your heart is calling you to, hear the messages from your spirit guides, from your higher self, from your ancestors, and allow yourself to walk once more hand in hand with death, knowing that you are protected from the way that things were. I wish I was being given a little bit more context, but we'll see if maybe the tarot cards will. The spirit guides, ancestors and angels, higher selves of pile 3. Can you elucidate a little bit more? We have the Queen of Candles and Queen of Wands. I'm hearing she stands in her power, she stands in her light against the forces of darkness coming at her with might. Interesting. And there's that bard energy. All right. We have the Ace of Cloaks or the Ace of Swords and the Four of Goblets. And on the back, we have the Eight of Cloaks or the Eight of Swords. This is about you understanding. There is an understanding and awareness here as you step more fully into your power, as you open yourself up to the magic of the honoring of what has passed. You start to understand how when you live in the land of the dead, and guys, I'm speaking from personal experience, when you live in the land of the dead, whether it is as a channeler, as a medium, or when you live in the land of the dead because you have lost someone that has impacted you on such a deep, profound level that you don't know how to exist anymore. You don't know how to live, you don't know how to breathe, and you don't know how to continue moving forward. Sometimes you don't realize that your own grief and your own sadness needs a place to be felt, to be seen, to be heard, to be protected, that is the part of you that needs safety. The part of you that needs safety is the part that has lost so much that it's hard to look at the world. It's hard to see the world and see all the beauty and wonder where it is in your own life. And that mentality can get you stuck in this whirlwind of sadness, of loss, of grief. But if you give yourself the time and the patience to hear that your heart needs to expel this, that's when you'll see the clarity. That's when you'll understand. I'm sorry, guys. Like, this just like hit me like a freight train. I want to hug you guys so much. I know this pain and I know this questioning, and I know what it's like to be stuck in your head about why things happened and what occurred and how it just sucks the magic away when you keep staying in your head and you don't step more fully into you. But then stepping fully into you means that you have to own the power that you have, and you have to own the fact that what was lost, it was lost. I know how twisted and entangled this can be. And with the Eight of Cloaks or the Eight of Swords here, you're entangled. You're entangled because you are blinded to the truth. And you're in this place right now because the truth is that things just sometimes have to happen. Things sometimes have to fall away. They have to crumble. They have to fall apart. And sometimes you just have to cry. And it doesn't mean that you have to defend being alive. It doesn't mean that you have to defend taking a break. And it doesn't mean that you have to defend listening to your heart or always being the one to fight. Pile 3. I am sending you guys so much love. You have a beautiful soul. And I know with the energy, the way that it feels, that sometimes that can get lost. I know that. I understand that. I can feel it. I know that it can feel like this phase, this journey, this part of it has been going on forever, and all it is more and more and more loss. I understand. I see it. I feel it. I see you. I feel you. I see you. I see you. And it does matter, and you do matter. And Spirit doesn't want you to give up on yourself, on your journey, on this life. There is a protection for you more than what you realize. And Pile 3, you can do this. I have a very strong feeling that Alyssa has a message for you that is going to help you see how far you have gone and just how grown in your new feathers are. Your heart is calling you back to leap and to fly again. And as a phoenix, it can be scary to do that because the phoenix will always go back through the fires. But you have a beautiful magic about you. Please let yourself feel everything that you need to feel, because your emotions matter. They're not wrong. You're not wrong for feeling them. So let yourself feel. Pile 3, this is the message that I have for you. I want to tell you all how much I love you. I am going to insert some Reiki right here as I do the closing gratitudes. So if you would like a little bit more uplifting energy, you can feel free to accept that, as I set the intention for it to help your heart feel how much love and protection you have around you. I want to take this time to thank you our guides, my guides, Spirit, our ancestors, ascended masters, angels, deities, and our higher selves for coming forth today, for flowing these messages forth, for connecting us in a state of love and understanding, clarity, and navigation with the light through the shadows. Thank you. And Spirit, please be with all my pile threes. Hold them, uplift them, help them to feel the strength that they have beside them, around them, and in them. Thank you. Pile 3, please don't forget to go check out Alyssa's video. And I really, really love you guys. I am really grateful for you for being here. I am sending you guys so much love. Just so much love. If this resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And remember, if these cards spoke to you, you can check out J Edward and Heather Neill's decks on Etsy. The link is in the description box. And I love you guys. I will see you at my next reading. Bye.